Well, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for coming all the way from San Diego.
I know.
We're thrilled to talk to you today. I'm a huge fan of Cymbiotika, so we're going to talk all about that. But before we do, I really just want to hear about you. You've had such an interesting life journey. We have your mom in the room, which is very special, so you can talk about childhood, all the things.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for having me here today. So amazing to have my mom here. She has been such an instrumental part of where I am today in my life. And I feel immense gratitude for her love and her guidance and her energy in my life. So I was born in Afghanistan. I left at a very young age. My mom will probably correct me here, like 3 months. I always say 3.5. Not that I remember at that stage, but I was young. And unfortunately, I've never been back. Fortunately, I'm here. But of course, you want to know the roots and where you were born in your country. And so been here in America ever since. And I'm incredibly proud to be an Afghan American. That's what I consider myself to be. But growing up, there was such a cultural struggle between me being very American and then my father wanting me to be very Afghan and to hold on to those Afghan traditions. So we had a tug-of-war relationship throughout my entire childhood. And I think that also the culture was such a culture shock for him, coming from the Middle East and then having a daughter who wanted to be bold and have an opinion and wear shorts. And I'm not talking about short shorts, just normal shorts up to my knees. That was like a big no-no for him. So our personalities clashed quite often. And so childhood was not easy for me, but there was a distinct time that I remember, which was an evening. My father was quite the drinker in the evenings, and he would get a little aggressive with his words and his behaviors, and he was telling my mother, because I was so, I wanted to be so different than what he wanted of me, and that didn't sit well with him. He was telling my mom one evening, and I'll never forget this moment. I was sitting on the stairs, and he said, "You know what? She's never going to amount to anything."
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know what it was, but in that moment, the way I felt, I never wanted to feel that again. And it was then that I realized that I'm going to conquer this pain and this fear of someone controlling me or making me feel less of. Because at the end of the day, I think that the power is really within you. It's within your thought process, and it's how you think. So I think your thoughts are the most powerful thing in the world that you own, and no one can take that from you. So I just realized at that point that instead of sitting and crying and becoming a victim to my life and my childhood, I was going to create a life for myself that anything and everything I've ever dreamt of, I can bring to reality.
Yeah, so cute. And you have, by the way, which we're going to get into.
Thank you.
I was doing some research on you this morning, and I was blown away at the success that you've had, the companies that you and your husband have built, which we will get into. But first, I love what you said about thoughts become things. I'm a huge believer in that. This is a super spiritual podcast, which I think you know.
Yeah.
So I've been thrilled to talk to you about manifestation, because I know that you're a believer like me and our listeners in manifesting. So going back to childhood, when you had that feeling, was that the first time that you felt this connection to thoughts become things?
Yeah. It was a really sad time in my life where every single night I would go to bed and I would just cry my eyes to sleep. And then I realized, I give my mom all the credit in the world, but she taught me that I can either self-destruct or I can take control over my thoughts and my future. And so I would journal a lot. And I would cut out pictures in magazines of what I wanted my home to look like and what I wanted my aspirational husband to be like. And so I would, instead of sitting in pain and crying and feeling sorry for myself, I would kind of almost go into a fantasy of when I get out of this moment, when I overcome this pain, this is the life that I'm going to live. And at that time, I didn't realize that that was manifestation, but I was doing it at a very young age. And I have every story of my life, from where I live to our companies to our office space to the incredible women I've got in my life, I think has been a manifestation of my thoughts, my energy, and the frequency that I put out in the universe.
I love that so much, and I live the same way. And I do believe that when we're kids, we can tap into that without knowing what it is. And it's so beautiful that your mom reminded you about that, and she's here now. And I feel a similar connection with my mom. Just someone giving you that loving energy, telling you you're amazing and you're gonna do whatever you can set your mind to is huge. So that's absolutely fantastic. Do you still journal?
I still journal. I mean, I love writing. I'm so old school. Everyone has moved over to like iPads and taking notes on their phone, and I'm like, can I get a pen and paper?
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I love to write. I think for me, when I write it, I take it in mentally and physically. And so if I write it, I know that there's almost like a commitment level I'm making to myself of what it is that I'm writing, whether it's an idea, whether it's a thought or something to do. But it's kind of part of the visualization for me.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. And I have to have a pen and paper. And my son, who's a year and a half, if he sees a pen, he'll say, Mama.
That's so cute.
Because that's how often I'm carrying around pens, and very, very old school. But I think there's something to be said for actually writing it down versus typing it, and whatever, like however people like to get it out is good. But I completely agree.
In my first job in corporate America, I was at T-Mobile, and I did something really interesting. Again, at that time, there wasn't such a connection, or spirituality and manifestation really hadn't surfaced as a topic of conversation at that time. But I laminated a sheet of paper that was the size of a credit card, and the first side of it had my 3-year plan, and the second side had my 5-year plan. And I typed this in and laminated it, and I had it in my wallet. And I'm proud to say that I hit every marker on my 3-year plan and everything on my 5-year plan. So I do think that when you see it, when you write it, you subconsciously work towards it every single day. So manifestation is very real.
It's very real. That's such a good idea to put it in your wallet. I want to start doing that. So do you remember what was on your 3-year plan and 5-year plan?
So my 3-year plan was meeting my husband, who I've been married to for 23 years.
Amazing.
He is the most awe-inspiring man that I could have ever asked for. He's my best friend. We've started and scaled. This is our 5th company together.
Huge.
Yes, and he is such an extraordinary man in the sense that he really supports me and who I am as a woman, empowers me and inspires me. And he was the polar opposite of my father. My father was like, stay under the shadows and the confinements of our culture and the rules, and what is the culture, what are people going to think about you? And he's the opposite. He's like, be bold, be who you are. I'll take care of any of the noise out there. And so he's really helped me feel very comfortable with my skin. He's given me the strength and the courage to come out and share my story, especially because there was some, like I mentioned, dark times where I was like, I don't think I could ever feel good because life is so tough. And I hope to inspire young girls who feel like they can't overcome whatever it is that they're going through. But
it's so beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, again, you've got to have a rock in your life. So for me, it was my mother. But and now today, it's this joining force between my husband of 23 years, my best friend, my mother, and then my 2 daughters who inspire me on the daily.
I come back to that every day, and I feel the same way that you do. I feel that with my parents, my husband, my son. That is my unit. And it gets me through everything.
It's very true. And it's so important to surround yourself with people that support you, that lift you up, that want to share your goals and your dreams with you and don't tell you or derail you.
Yes. So what's your relationship with your dad like now?
So it's really interesting that you asked that right now. But my father, so also in that time period, I remember at that very low point, I said to myself, I will never feel this way. So what am I going to do to ensure that this doesn't happen again? I was like, I'm going to be an independent woman. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm going to work. I never want, someone to tell me what to do. And I said, I'm going to be in Forbes magazine one day. That was like a big dream.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
So I bought a magazine, I signed it, and then I like had it up in a frame. And this past Monday, I was featured in Forbes.
Congratulations. That is massive.
Thank you. And my mother said to me, do you remember at the age of 16, this has always been your dream? So it was a very emotional day for me.
I can't stop looking at your mom just because she's here. Like, it's so special.
She's really, really special. And on Monday evening, of course, Monday I celebrated, shared it with my daughters. We, of course, had some champagne.
Of course.
And then I generally go to sleep very early. I go to sleep at 8 because I'm an early riser. And I got a call at 10:30 at night that my father was in ICU.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and he is not in the best health, but he had fluid buildup in his lungs, and so he was on a ventilator, and it was bad. So the doctor was basically like, you're the power of attorney for your father, and you need to make a decision on his life. So it was such an interesting day for me because it was like full circle. Like my life was so difficult because of you, and I wanted to get on Forbes through the adversity that you put me through. And now today that I've gotten there, you're like struggling for your life.
Yeah.
And then I'm the one that's supposed to make a decision on what to do with your heartbeat. So it was a really emotional night. We got up, we headed to the hospital. My brother flew in. My father is much better, so thank you for asking.
Good.
He overcame what he was going through, but there was a moment where we didn't think that he was going to make it. And I sat in the hospital room looking at him as he had the ventilator in his mouth, and I said to myself, I forgive you for everything you've put me through, although I think there's different ways of disciplining your children. But I'm so grateful for my childhood. I'm so grateful for my pains because it's made me who I am today.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And well, first of all, I'm so glad that he's okay. I was about to say, I can't believe you're here, because for everybody listening, it's Wednesday.
Yes.
This happened on Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's so proud of you. I would imagine. Is he proud of you?
He's very proud of me. And when he was conscious at the hospital, he said to me, I'm really sorry for everything.
Wow.
And I can't explain what that meant to me. I'm so fortunate today that I don't need him, right, per se, like financial or anything, but it lifted such a heavy weight from my heart to know that he had empathy for everything he put me through.
Yeah.
And so again, like just grateful for the journey, grateful that I've been able to really understand and control the power of my thoughts, because that's what got me through it.
Totally.
Sorry,
you go on.
No, sorry. There's a book, I have to tell you, there's a book you would really love. It's called Stop Giving Your Power Away. How to Stop Giving Your Power Away.
I want to read it today.
And I love the book because it just teaches you that things that happen in your life, whether it's toxic or just the energy, when the energy comes onto you and it doesn't make you feel good, you disempower yourself. And so you've got to disconnect from those things and the people or whatever it was that made you feel that way. And I believe that's part of one of the things within manifesting is you have to feel powerful, and you have to ensure that whether it's thoughts, people, experiences, it doesn't take your power away.
I totally agree, and I'm going to read that book, and I'm so glad you said that because the audience is going to love. But the other thing I was going to say is that I had a similar experience with my dad, although we're very close now, and I don't think it was to the same level and degree that you felt with your dad. But my dad had a horrible temper. I lived in fear of him exploding. He would throw things, like we butt heads like crazy. And I had similar experiences where I would be 12 years old and I would look in the mirror and I would say, when I am older, I'm going to come rescue myself. And it was almost like timeline hopping or time travel in a way, because I just knew. I was so young and I just knew. And I also credit my dad for a lot of my success. Well, I credit myself, but I credit what he put me through, because I believe on a soul level, we choose our parents and our parents choose us, and soul families, eternal souls. I don't know how you feel about all that, but sometimes we sign up for these things, and maybe your dad signed up to put you through something really challenging so that you could become this powerful woman.
Yeah.
And obviously that doesn't take the power away from you, but it helps me have so much compassion for everyone in my life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to look at things. You know, fear, I define that so differently now. I define fear as face everything and rise.
Ooh.
And if you can do that at anything that brings you fear, you will conquer. You will conquer whatever is in front of you.
That's huge. I'm gonna mental note. I'm gonna remember that next time I feel fear.
Yeah.
Which is all the time.
All the time.
As a human,
it's very
maybe
natural.
every day.
Right.
Yes. Wow. What's your sign, by the way?
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, amazing.
Tell me, what does that
I've
mean?
been trying to figure out since we've been sitting here. I would have guessed that you were more of a fire sign, like an Aries.
I get that often.
Vibe. But do you know your moon and rising or no?
Yes. What is my moon and rising?
Yeah.
Rising is Aries.
Oh, of course. Okay, rising Aries, and then her moon. Cancer moon. Love. Okay.
Okay, I don't know what that means. So what does that mean?
I'll tell you everything, and my audience will love this because we always get into the astrology, and they get really excited. So, okay, so Pisces sun, Aries rising, Cancer moon. I'm a Cancer moon as well, and we'll start with the moon because the moon is our emotions. That's our heart. That's kind of like who we are inside. People don't necessarily see us that way, but that's how we process our emotions, how we process our pain. So it doesn't surprise me that you're a Cancer moon, because Cancers are the nurturers, they're a water sign, the mothers, it's the sign of the mother. And moon resides in Cancer. So for someone with a Cancer moon, that means that it's at home in your moon sign. It's just very stable, very sensitive.
Yes.
Very emotional.
Yes.
And you're a double water because you're a Pisces sun, which is another water sign, and it's also the most emotion-driven sign. So you feel everything, even though you're an Aries rising, so that's your exterior. That's how people see you. That's your facade. That's probably what your employees experience and your, your family. That's strong. The Aries rising is strong. I got this. I'm a leader.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah,
but
inside,
I'm
so impressed.
Your true
I'm
identity.
just gonna come here for my astrology.
Yeah,
I
could read you all day long.
Every single Wednesday. This is amazing.
Yes, inside your heart is all water, all love. It doesn't surprise me at all that you're such a family person, such a nurturing mother. So thankful of your husband and your mother. That's all very Cancer Pisces. But then Aries rising is that's your business side. That's like the woman featured in Forbes. I mean, all of it is you, and it's such a good balance and such a good dynamic.
I've got to look into that. I mean, everything you said was spot on. I love the ocean.
Yep.
Love the ocean.
Water.
I've got such a spiritual connection to water, and I'm incredibly sensitive. I wear my emotion on my sleeve. My husband Shahab is always like, "You're so interesting. You walk into the room and you're like, I don't like the way I feel." And I'm like, I'm very connected to energies and vibrations. And yes, if it doesn't make me feel good, I've got to leave because I don't like it. And so I today am in a space and I'm in a place that I can control where I want to be.
Yes, and that's the best place to be, honestly. And we talked before we started recording how we both prefer to get to know someone before hopping on a podcast.
Yes.
I mean, you're very extroverted. I think you could talk about your business, your life all day long. I really need to know someone before I can have like a conversation on the microphone with them. And that's an energy thing too.
Yeah.
It's sensitive energies.
Yeah.
Cancer moons.
Yeah, that's awesome. High five to that.
What's your husband's sign?
He
or when's his birthday?
His birthday is May 26th. So he's a
Gemini.
He's a Gemini. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good balance.
Yeah. You know, we have a beautiful relationship. Tomorrow, I was going to say Thursday. Tomorrow is our 23-year anniversary.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And what a journey and what a ride it's been. I met him at UCLA, and as I mentioned earlier, he's the CEO of all of our companies. I run all the operations, and it's so incredible because we're like yin and yang. The things that he brings to the table in terms of business is things that are just not my expertise, and I like more the creative side. I have a lot of patience with people. I have a lot of, not that he doesn't have empathy, but I think one of my skill sets is empathy. I want to get to know people. In my office, I do something where twice a month my executive assistant will select someone and I have lunch with them. And I remember the first time we did this, the team member was so nervous. She was like practicing like all her KPIs, which were just like all of her success, record in terms of like the things that she'd done at work. And when I met with her, I said, you know what? I actually don't want to discuss work at all. I want to get to know you. Who are you? What makes you tick? What excites you? Tell me about your childhood. Where do your parents live? Do you have siblings? And it's become such a beautiful thing that I do. It's one of my favorite things that I do in the office. And that's like my thing. My husband is an incredible leader, but he doesn't have patience for that kind of stuff. Like he's like, give me the 30 seconds.
And I'm very Gemini.
Yeah, very Gemini.
Versus Pisces.
Yes. So yeah, I love people. I love women. I'm very, very inspired by women. Coming from a strong mother, I've learned to just love women. And I think that we can absolutely support one another without competing.
Absolutely.
I think that when we support each other, we're so much stronger. We rise together. And 67% of the make today at Cymbiotika is women.
That's amazing.
Yeah, very proud of that.
I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that for you guys. That's huge. And I want to get into that. I want to hear about your entrepreneurial journey because we're definitely going to talk about Cymbiotika, which is my favorite brand,
Thank you.
By far. But I want to hear about the journey to getting to Cymbiotika because this is your 5th company with your husband. What did you guys do before that? How did you get into being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, absolutely. We did a lot of things together, but I started right when I graduated UCLA. I was recruited to work at T-Mobile Corporate here in Culver City. And it was a great job, worked there for a great career, not job, but great career. I did not have work-life balance. I just had a lot of work. And I've met some amazing mentors through the journey, but it took me 10 years to start a family because I was so committed to my career. And it was a lifestyle where it was either I had to just be one thing, and I wanted to be successful, and I knew I wanted to stand on my own 2 feet. And there was a time where it was like, I can't ever start a family because the minute I start a family, I'm going to lose my career. There was no, you can do both. And so I decided after 8 years to resign, which was a big shock because by that time I had really moved up the corporate ranking. I was a director of marketing. I oversaw all of marketing in California, Hawaii, and Nevada for T-Mobile. So anything you could think of, from commercials to billboards to sponsorships, anything digital, we did all of it. And so I decided to resign because I wanted to start a family. And that was really beautiful. My daughter Yasmin was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And of course, my daughter Ariana, if they were here right now, they would say, Mom, I'm the best thing that happened to you. And then they'd start fighting. And then within that year that I took off, my husband got an incredible opportunity because he was working at AT&T at the time to oversee the entire East Coast in sales. And I said to him, yeah, we're young. Our daughter Yasmin's barely a year old. Let's move. Let's do this. And then, of course, it always bounces back to my mom. She said, yeah, I got you. Like, I will come the first year and I'll move with you.
Wow.
And I will help you. I'll teach you. She's an incredible mother. It's myself and 3 brothers. So she left her life here in California and moved to the East Coast with us. And staying at home mom was, wow, what a full-time job that is. I thought that I was like such like a boss until I became a mom, and that like diffused me because I was like, oh my God, I can't handle this kid.
I had the same experience.
It was so difficult. I have such admiration for stay-home moms.
Oh my God,
Because
me
the
too.
difference is at work, something doesn't go right, you step away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't step away from your child.
Yeah.
And at that age, it's not even like there's no like mute button, right? So you're just all in, and you are so selfless. So within 6 months of being out on the East Coast, I had met some of my husband's, the leadership there at AT&T, and they asked me at one of the dinners, what do you do? Or what was your career prior to becoming a mom? And I said, I worked at T-Mobile. And they said, well, we've got to recruit you on our side. So the CEO at the time, Ralph De La Vega, who's a mentor still in our lives, he recruited me, and I joined AT&T. And that was the birth of my husband and I working together. So he oversaw all of sales for the East Coast, and then I ran all of marketing for the Northeast.
Wow.
Yeah, so we would drive to work together, and sometimes, of course, we didn't always travel together, but for the most part, we drove in and out of work together. We were on the same floor, and it was beautiful. We realized at that point, like, this is cool. I love working with you, and we have a lot of just, I would bounce things off of him, he would bounce things off of me, and so we realized at that point we're really onto something. We spent about, for myself, it was almost 5 years there at AT&T, and had my second daughter, Ariana, and I remember my mom's 1 year expiration she was like, it's tick, 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 1 year is over with, I'm leaving. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's just like, no, I'm out. Like, I didn't sign up for this for the rest of my life. And my daughters are 15 and a half months apart.
So close in age.
So
Oh my
close in
God.
age, but
I
it's
would already
amazing.
have 2 kids by now if that was the age gap.
Yeah,
It is amazing.
You got to have them back to back. That's what I told Lauren. I'm like,
Oh
have
my
them back to back.
God.
No matter how you do it, it's a shit show. Just have them back to back.
Absolutely. Wow.
So I remember seeing my daughter's first steps through the cameras of my phone. And it was then that I realized that I don't own my time. I want my time back. And Shahab and I would see each other in passing at the airport at times. And I was like, I don't like who I'm becoming. Like, I'm not really a mom. I'm a businesswoman, and then that's it. But what's going to happen to my daughters when they grow up one day? And say, Mom's great, she's got amazing, all these designer bags, but Mom's never spent time with us. Mom has never been present. And Shahab had the same sentiments, and we just, it takes a lot of moxie to do this, but we both resigned within the same week.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, we resigned in the same week, and we said, well, look, we already know what we're doing. We're not afraid to work hard. We have the entire blueprint to what it takes. And our first business was, we opened our first Cricket Wireless stores, which was a non-contracted, prepaid cell phone service with AT&T. And we scaled it from one store, and it was across the coast, and to 450. And that was our first business together. And again, he ran the sales side, and I ran the operations and marketing and the culture and the people. And we realized we've got something good here. We can do this. And that was our first business. And then our second business was Ducky Accessories, where we had accessories for phones. Yeah.
So it was all phone related stuff.
Yeah. It was all phone related
time.
things at the time. And then the girls were growing up. But what was really neat was we were very present, not just present in their lives, but present for one another. And I love the way that felt.
Yeah.
I love the way that felt. And we also kind of, because we owned our time back, we got back into like living healthier lifestyles, working out. I love cooking, so my mom would tell you I don't cook that much, but I do. I'm like, Mom, I just cook differently. I cook really healthy foods.
Yes.
And then the birth of Cymbiotika came about. We were visiting here in California, and his good friend, which is our business partner and co-founder, Sherveen, approached him and said, there's this business that I've got, and I know that you and your wife know how to scale businesses. I've got this, one product, Omega, and I would really love for you guys to join forces. And for us, when we took a step back and surveyed the wellness industry, there were so many gaps in the industry where we were like, number one, we're incredibly passionate about doing something so meaningful that our daughters can understand that life is about thinking outside of yourself. And that's what we do at Cymbiotika. We think outside of ourselves. And it was just like, we were so in love with the concept and what Cymbiotika could have become and what it is today. For me, I can envision anything. So I was really excited because I'm like, yes, we're like, this is amazing. And I didn't really feel like, I still don't feel like there's really any competition out there.
Yeah, there's nothing like it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, other companies, there's synthetics in their raws. A lot of companies don't invest in tech, which we've put a heavy investment on tech.
Meaning?
That's our website. We're the only company that allows you to do custom bundling. We wrote that code.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we were first at that. We've put tech behind how we make our products, which is the liposomal technology. And then the third thing was that most companies outsource all their digital marketing. We were like, we're going to bring that in-house. I mean, once we were able to scale the company, we've brought that in-house now. And then fulfillment. Fulfillment is a big part of the customer experience, getting their products on time, getting the right products. So we've today, fast forward 3 years later, we've been able to build such an incredible company, community, and movement because of really these top three things. We've brought everything in-house and we've believed in ourselves. But not to like derail where we were going with the initial question. It's been a really, really beautiful journey, and especially between just like all the partners. There is a book called The Speed of Trust, and it's about, one of the most important things in an organization in order to be able to efficiently move things forward quickly is having an ecosystem of trust. And so we have that amongst all the co-founders, and all of our skill sets are so different. Like what I bring to the table is very different than what Sherveen brings. What Sherveen brings is very different than what Shahab brings. So the synergy between the three of us is what makes it such a great company.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys are all so dynamic and powerful. And I was doing a lot of like looking into all of you before this conversation because I know Sherveen pretty well. He's helped me with a lot of different health related things, and he's just such a cool person. And then I was so curious, like, how does this all come together, you and your husband and him? So after looking into it and now talking to you, it seems like you're the perfect trio to work together and continue to grow Cymbiotika, which is so cool. So a question I have for you, I have a few related to all of this. One, how good did it feel to move from like phone stuff to the wellness world?
It felt great. I mean, it happened very organically, that the timing was just right. But we've always, lived a very healthy lifestyle. For me, part of the manifestation is how you treat yourself. Like your body is your temple. What you put into your body is critical. It supports your thoughts. It's part of your ecosystem. It's part of the confidence that you exude in the world. So we always lived like a very, very healthy lifestyle in terms of how we live, what we eat. I think my only vice is probably drinking here and there.
Everybody has a vice.
Yeah, everyone's got a vice. So it very much aligned with our own core values as who we are. And then we had so much purpose after having children. It's like, what are we going to do in the world? And for us, after our fourth business, we had a very successful exit financially. So we were going to actually take some time off, and then this came about. And because it aligned with who we are in terms of one day the story and the legacy that this is going to leave behind for my children is much greater than anything I've ever done in my career. And I want my daughters, especially now, Yasmina's 10 and Ariana's 8.5, but they understand everything that mommy is doing. They see it, they feel it. And I wanted the next chapter of my life to be so powerful in terms of what is it that they're going to learn from this? What is it that they're going to feel? And what I do every day teaches them who to be as human beings to the world and how to show up. So it was amazing. And then, not this part wasn't amazing. Then COVID happened, which slowed down the world, and everyone had to take a stop and really like reinvest into themselves and wait a second, what am I eating? Everyone became more health conscious. And during this time, as companies started you know, taking a step back, whether it was shutting down their offices or downsizing, we did the opposite. We went all in.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody became very focused on their immunity and their
Yes.
health, getting all the proper vitamins and nutrients. I mean, you should see our kitchen and bathroom. Like, it is full of Cymbiotika products.
Yay.
Like,
Well,
for me,
I've
for
got
my husband.
good news for you. We've
What?
got some exciting things in the works.
Can you tell us?
I'm going to tell you,
Okay,
we're
I'm
about
excited.
to launch a home care, an entire home care line.
Ooh, so, meaning like shampoo.
Shampoos.
Oh my God,
Well,
yay.
so to start off with, it's a counter spray. It's hand soap, hand lotion, detergent.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Laundry detergent?
Yes.
I'm so happy. I've been waiting for a good, clean laundry detergent.
Here we are.
Oh,
Here we are.
I'm so excited.
Yes, we are too. You know, we really want to just revolutionize the health industry.
Yeah.
And
when does it launch?
it's coming soon.
Really soon?
Yes, in
Okay,
the coming
cool.
weeks. In the coming
Okay,
weeks.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we've got personal care next after that,
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, you'll have your deodorant, your toothpaste.
Bring me the skincare, the toothpaste,
Yes,
all the
yes.
things.
And then we're getting into, well, we're already into it now, but we're going to have a children's line
Mm,
and,
that's the most exciting to me.
and pet care.
Oh my God, amazing. Well, my cat is my first child, so can't wait. Can't wait to give the products to Hudson and Atticus, my little one. That's so exciting. Oh my
yeah.
God, you guys are just doing it.
We are. We're in it every single day,
Mm-hmm.
and we're always thinking of listening to our clients' health needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've definitely have dominated the supplement space in terms of being the solution for our clients.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, how can we show up in your lives in a much greater way?
Yes.
And in order to, it's a one thing when you're consuming your supplements, but then it's another if you're using toxic chemicals in your
Mm-hmm.
home. So we're so excited. We're so excited for this journey.
exciting. Wow, that's so awesome.
Thank
and what
you.
are your favorite products that you guys have?
Today, well, it depends on the day. It depends on like
just some faves.
yeah. So some faves is my B12. I need that for energy. As a mom, I'm like, there's not enough B12 in the world.
I know.
Vitamin C because it's beauty from within.
Uh-huh.
So I love that. And then my glutathione because I like to have my glass of wine. So it's very detoxifying.
Yes.
So those would be my top. And then I drink, I put super greens in my green smoothie every single morning. And NMN keeps me young. So
My husband takes that one. What
Yeah.
is that exactly?
so that's anti-aging, like it's the fountain of youth that
Why am I
everyone
not
calls
taking
it.
this already?
I need to send it to you.
Please.
Yes, and it helps you with your energy levels. So love that product. I mean, I really love everything. I use everything and I use it throughout my day. Probiotics is critical and just like
sure.
keeping your body cleansed. And again, it's good to detoxify your gut. So I use a little bit of everything. It just, like I said, it depends on the time of day. It depends on my energy level and what it is that morning I'm trying to go after.
Amazing. I love it all. I've tried so many Cymbiotika products. I want to say I've tried them all, but probably not because there's so many. I love the charcoal.
Yes.
I love all the magnesium. I just love, like, I love the way that you take it. Like, you squeeze it in your mouth, the squeeze packets.
Yes.
Am I calling
Little
it the correct
pouches.
thing?
Same.
Pouches.
Yeah,
all
that's perfect.
Yes.
It's like to
'Cause
go.
It's just like
Supplements
tastes
to go.
good.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to take. I travel with them. I keep them in my bags. It's just amazing.
Thank you. We appreciate all of your support, and we're happy to be a part of your lives, and in such a way where we make our customers and clients, and more importantly, our community, feel good. And
Yeah.
we're in their everyday lives. It's such a rewarding.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sure it is, which is so cool. So I want to ask you some of the rapid fire questions
Yes.
that I ask everyone who comes on.
All right.
We already talked about your sun, rising, and moon signs. Do you know your human design?
My human design. No, what is that?
We're looking over at your team.
Yeah.
Well, if you know your birth info,
I do.
we can look up your human design. Should we just do it right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The audience is laughing because I do this every week for people who don't.
love
People who
this.
don't already know their human design.
My
so
human
we're
design.
pulling up myhumandesign.com, my best friend Jenna's website.
I love this. We're supporting your best friend in the journey. This
Yeah,
is great.
I mean she's incredible. Okay, so what is your birth year?
1980.
1980.
I just gave up my age.
So you're
everyone.
exactly 10 years older than me. I'm a 1990 baby. And then
I feel so old.
No.
Everyone in the office thinks I'm a dinosaur, by the way.
No. Are you kidding? You look so young.
I use different
incredible.
words like Rolodex, and they all look at me, and I'm like, "That's where
Like,
you
what
put
does that
contacts,
mean?
like
Yeah.
people's phone numbers."
Yeah, that is so funny. And then March or
February 26th.
Okay. I just took a wild guess there. February 26th. Do you know the time?
7:15 a.m.
Okay.
Mama, is that when you gave birth to me? Okay.
Amazing. 7:15 a.m. in what part of Afghanistan?
Kabul, the capital.
Okay.
Kabul.
I'm really glad you spelled that because I wasn't sure. Okay. And here we are. We're going to view your chart. Let's see what you are. Ooh, you're a generator. Okay, so in
Okay.
human design, there's 5 different energy types. And I almost guessed right before I pressed it, I was going to guess that you were a generator. So there's generators, manifesting generators, manifestors, reflectors, and projectors. Generators, you guys are the life force energy. That's
Wow.
why I knew that
I'll
you would
take
be
that.
a
That's such-
generator. And just to kind of like show you, I know it looks like a foreign language at this point, but this is what your chart looks like. So I'm not surprised that all of these chakras up here are open and these are closed, because this means that you are like open to wisdom from the universe, because these are not colored in. And people with the colored in, everybody's open to wisdom from the universe, but you're like a channel. But then here at the bottom, like your sacral chakra in these areas, you're very filled in, very powerful. You have a strong root, like a groundedness about you. You're the life force energy. Generators are leaders. I always say the world is built for generators, because it is. I'm the opposite of a generator. I'm a reflector. The world was not built for me. I belong on a different planet, like so sensitive to energies. And you're an emotional generator. That's your authority. So that's how you make decisions. You can make gut decisions from your emotional heart space.
That's so interesting. I'm very intuitive. I'm very in tune with, so I do all the last round interviews at the company. And recently, my chief of staff, Elizabeth, said, "You're a face reader." I'm like, "What is that?"
Ooh.
And she's like, "You can read people's faces." And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't watch a lot of television, but she said there was like a show on it.
Oh, really?
So apparently I'm also a face reader, but yeah,
I have to watch the show. We have to ask her.
Yeah, she said it's like this face reader. It's like a dating show, but he basically reads people's faces. But for me, I am very in tune with emotions, vibrations, energy, and yeah, it's weird. So yes,
Yeah.
your friend's site is spot on.
Yeah.
What's
well,
the name of her
I'll send
site?
you this. This is My Human Design
Oh, okay.
with Jenna Zoe. I'll send it to you.
Yes,
because
please.
it's kind of a cool thing. You can do it with your team.
Yeah,
like I
that's
would have
great.
everybody at Cymbiotika do this, because you understand then everyone's internal
Yes.
energy system and how they work best.
Yeah.
So then you can understand, like a projector
Yeah.
works very differently from a generator.
Right.
I'm not surprised that you're a generator, because generators can go. You have an internal system where you wake up early, you exercise, you take your kids to school, then you work all day. Like for people like me.
Were you with me yesterday? No.
Right? I know. I'm just intuitive. So for reflectors and projectors, we work best 3 hours a day or less. So it's kind of perfect to be a podcaster.
Yeah.
So I come here, I give it my all, I do this. I'm going to work after this, but ideally I wouldn't, to be honest. And yeah, it's just good to understand the way that we all work.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
It's a great site. Great
Yeah,
resource.
it's really fun. So, okay, next question. Who are your mentors?
My mother, my husband Shahab, Ralph De La Vega, who was the former CEO and chairman of AT&T, another one of the most amazing leaders that we still have in our lives. My husband and I, his name is Andy Shibley. He lives out in Dallas, but he's been an incredible mentor who's just shaped me in terms of my thoughts, my career, aligned me with my power and what I'm capable of doing. I recently had the privilege of meeting Billie Jean King, and I've stayed very close contact with her, and what she's done for women in sports is awe-inspiring for me. And I love to surround myself and have the opportunity to meet real women who are doing incredible things like herself. And so those would be my mentors.
Amazing. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, it's a great question. So I love working. I see us scaling Cymbiotika to $1 billion business. I want to take over the entire wellness industry.
Wow.
In the sense of, when you think of tech today, you think of Apple. Apple connects your phone, your AirPods, your laptop. When you think of health and wellness, the world will think of Cymbiotika. I look at us growing our footprint across, so currently today we're in the US, we're in Canada, Australia, and we just launched in the UAE. But I want to get into, we want to be worldwide. And then we want to go beyond the supplement space. We want to be in your home. We want to be involved with your children, your pets. And so just really broadening our footprint and what we, provide and support our clients with.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I love everyone that I work with. They inspire me daily. We've got the most talented people working in the industry, working with us and alongside us. And so every day showing up to work for me is fun.
That's the best. That's the best thing that you can ask for.
Yeah.
Wow. And what would your tips be for everyone who wants to live a more soul-led life?
Soul-led life. Read that book.
Uh-huh. Wait, which book? The book that you mentioned earlier?
How Not to Give Your Power Away. I think that it's, people use the word selfish very loosely, but I think in order for you to live a soulful life and be able to show up for those around you, you've got to be a little selfish. So my advice to people is do something for yourself. And, I don't know what that is because it's very different for everyone. But for me, it's going to the gym 30 minutes a day. It's listening and redirecting my thoughts. In the mornings, I wake up and I just take a few minutes to have appreciation and gratitude in my heart. And I think about the things that, when I think of appreciation, what comes to my mind. And then I listen to positive affirmations before I go to bed. So I think in order, I would say to someone, my advice would be just, be good to yourself. And also, your thoughts are the most powerful thing that you own. And the quality of your thoughts direct the outcome of your life.
That's huge. I mean, that's definitely the soundbite from this episode. I'm seeing it now because everybody needs to know that. And I completely agree. Wow. This was such an incredible conversation.
Thank you.
I could talk to you forever.
Likewise. Well, you're going to have to move down to San Diego.
I know. I think it's got to happen. My husband actually went to college in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
He went to USD.
Oh, that's perfect.
I know. Got to get over there.
You've got to head over there.
Need that slower paced
We've got a country
life.
day.
I know. Country day. Oh, my God. Everybody, I need my kids to go to country day.
It's such a great school.
Yes. So where can everyone find you?
Well, Durana Elmi, that's my handle at Instagram. And then, of course, just, follow us and keep up with us at Cymbiotika.com.
Amazing. And we have a special discount code for everybody, which will be in the intro and the outro. But I'm also going to say it here because I feel like you can't say it enough. You guys are going to be obsessed with these products. Use the code BALANCED for 15% off site-wide to create your custom bundle and get up to 45% off. Kind of huge. Yay. Can't wait. Can't wait for everybody to try everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the gift of your time today.
And thank you for yours.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Look forward to connecting with you again.
Me too.
And just, thank you for all that you do.